My channel was never really about food, despite the fact that I absolutely love it. I tend to prioritize running around from location to location in search of the most beautiful hidden gems in each country, that I find myself too busy and way too tired to actively search what's the most traditional food in each place. But don't get me wrong, I always try to have a local meal at the end of the day, and much prefer to enjoy local food than going to a chain I already know about. Yet, I don't think I ever came across so many different local dishes like I did in Bulgaria, despite not being actively looking for it. And the result? A super pleasant and delicious surprise.
I like it.
So, let's start with breakfast. While in Belogradchik, our B&B offered a traditional Bulgarian breakfast with a local pastry called Banitsa, served with blackberry jam and plain yogurt. And boy, oh boy, that was delicious.
I feel like I'm eating pancakes, but this is closer to puff pastry than pancake dough, if that makes sense. It's good.
According to Wikipedia, Banitsa is prepared by layering a mixture of whisked eggs, plain yogurt, and pieces of white brine cheese between filo pastry and then baking it in an oven. We'll talk more about this cheese in a second. Another breakfast pastry we tried was Mekitsa, a traditional deep-fried kneaded dough and yogurt.
Yeah, but
Yours is black. Looks like the winter Christmas thing. Allemaal vertoeders.
At other hotels, we had the usual Continental breakfast. But despite being a bit more familiar with Continental breakfast, I have never seen so many different types of cheeses and hams in one single meal. So needless to say, I had to try them all. While the yellow cheese with walnuts was quite interesting, my favorites were, without a doubt, the smoked cheeses and hams, as well as the traditional white cheese. And here is where we're going to talk about it. The traditional Bulgarian white brine cheese, or Sirene as it is called in Bulgaria, is quite a thing in the country. Not only it is used in pastries like Banitsa and it's super popular on its own, but there is some controversy around it because of foreigners calling it Bulgarian Feta. For me, personally, the taste and even texture is quite different. Much softer in taste and texture than the Greek Feta. So I wouldn't really call it Feta cheese. I tried it in different regions of the country, and even though they tasted slightly different each time, I absolutely loved it, to the point that it ended up in my plate every single time. I definitely ate a lot more of it than what I could if it was Greek Feta, because of the less intense taste. Going back to our typical breakfast at the hotels, there was often a selection of bread, eggs, tomatoes, cucumber, and olives to go alongside the cheese and ham. Now, on to the main meals. To be completely honest, we've had a bit of everything. On certain days, we couldn't find any traditional restaurants, so we ended up having takeaway pizza, which was honestly very delicious. And on another occasion, we had dinner at our hotel, which served Italian dishes. And they were actually really good.
Your meat is very, very, very good. Tá bom, não sabe muito ao fruto do mar, tipo, sabe a risoto, mostly.
Apart from that, every other restaurant we went to served absolutely delicious Bulgarian food, and we totally went for it. We came across loads of grilled meat with oven-roasted potatoes and salad dishes, and this was the first thing we tried in the country while in Belogradchik. As a fan of both grilled meat and roasted potatoes, it was a 10 out of 10. Another dish I really enjoyed was a small casserole dish, Melnik style, that included a mixture of tomato puree, chicken and pork meat, peppers, mushrooms, pickled cucumber, olives, egg and spices, all oven cooked with a layer of white and yellow cheese. definitely one of my top meals in the country. I mean, it was covered in a layer of melted cheese. What's not to like about it?
Isto o ovo basicamente está escalfado por cima, ou é o queijo? Eu nem sei o que é isto. Queijo talvez, queijo? Queijo. 2 tipos de queijo. Comida se tiver queijo é boa. Nem preciso de duvidar que vai ser bom. Então isto parece tipo um pepper stew com carne e queijo por cima. It's very good. I really like it.
In this restaurant in specific, Joel had a delicious liver rice, which I can definitely approve.
Coloca o iogurte aqui.
É estranho com o iogurte, mas não sabe nada.
Comeria totalmente sem iogurte. Mas lá está. Mas o iogurte também fica bem. O arroz, gosto bem de cortar o arroz com a cenoura. Very good.
Another meal that somehow reminded me of this casserole dish was one we had in Cousin Look, a chicken and vegetable stew with delicious sautéed potatoes.
This is very good. Batatas está tão boas, parecem batata portuguesa salteada.
During our Balkan Bites food tour in Sofia, we also had the chance to try other not so typical bites, such as the vegan poppy seed biscuit with grain juice,
Or there's another one nasty in my opinion.
Like a cookie.
It's a
Kind of.
we have it. Yeah, I hate it. But
It's very good.
and a Sri Lankan fusion lentil croquet dipped in garlic yogurt sauce. Okay, maybe the sauce was more typical, and that is because Bulgaria also has plenty of traditional spreads, many of them with garlic. During our free food tour, we were taken to a cellar restaurant with a very long and complicated name to try their spreads. And this was quite frankly my favorite part of the tour. And that's because I just love savory stuff. We tried 3 different spreads. Lutenitsa, a red pepper and tomato spread.
it's similar to makbucha, right? It's a Moroccan spread that it's very popular in Israel.
It's almost too sweet.
Yeah, there is a lot of variety in it. You can have it spicy, you can have it sweet, you can have it chunky.
Sweet.
Yeah, you can have it chunky, you can have it fine. That's the most popular variety.
Kyopolou, a red pepper, aubergine and garlic spread.
A little bit of salt.
I can taste the garlic.
Yeah.
Wow, the garlic is nice.
You want a little bit of salt?
Yeah, sure. A bit,
And finally, a white spread topped with walnuts and served with Sharena salt, also known as rainbow salt, a delicious and mysterious Bulgarian allspice salt that no one, apart from the grannies, knows exactly what's in it. At least, not completely.
Is to sprinkle a little bit of this. This is a traditional Bulgarian allspice. It's called Colourful salt or rainbow salt. And it's a mix of 10, 11 spices that nobody knows. At best, maybe we know 6. That's cumin, paprika, cornstarch, and salt and black pepper. That's what I'm 100% sure. The others, a mystery to me. Yeah. So, yeah. I suggest you sprinkle a little bit on top of every. Whoever wants to, but it's not spicy. It's good. Okay.
That's
I like
more than
that.
sprinkled.
I like that. Go hard. Go.
It's kind of like a secret spice recipe. I don't remember exactly the name of this spread in specific, but it might have been Katak or Snezhanka. Any Bulgarians watching this video, I would really appreciate any enlightening. Because I don't have sweet tooth, I rarely try desserts, so there isn't many on this list. The only thing we had while in Bulgaria was a pudding that was really good and literally tasted like the homemade pudding my grandma used to make. So, lots of memories there. As for drinks, we had the opportunity to try the local beer in Belograd, Pelin wine,
which is a traditional Bulgarian dessert wine. It's called Pelin. It originally came about back in the day when people were producing wine. You had good years and you had bad years, but people couldn't afford to throw away the wine from the bad years. So what they would do is they would infuse it with dried fruits and dried herbs. And the main herb they would use would be Pelin, which in English translates to wormwood, which is what you make absinthe or vermouth out. This tastes a lot like vermouth. In Bulgaria, it's a dessert wine. You have it after dinner always, and sometimes it's a shot. I know some people that like a glass. I know some people that like a bottle.
Depends on the liver.
Yeah.
Good. No?
Not for me.
Oh.
Bitter
I don't like wine in general.
wine. And you're from Portugal.
I know.
Fake.
Fake.
And the very popular Melnik wine. But my favorite, and probably everyone's favorite, was Rakia. This was my first time trying the popular fruit spirit from the Balkans, and there are so many different flavors it can be overwhelming to pick one. We tried Queen's Rakia, and this was my take on it.
Your grandfather will give you a shot, even though
This
you're
is very
not.
strong, but surprisingly okay.
Yeah, even if you're not, oh, we're doing this. This is Queen's.
It reminds me of ginger a little bit though.
Because it's fruit flavor.
I like it.
To finalize this video, I would just like to invite you to come to beautiful Bulgaria to try their food yourself, and if you have the chance, take part in Sofia's free food tour so you can taste Bulgarian bites while you hear more about the history behind their food. One of the interesting facts I've learned during the tour was that communism standardized everything, so restaurants used to all have the same set menu, which included the weight of the meal. The latter has been kept a tradition to this day, hence why we kept on seeing the weight of the food on different meals across the country.
Last thing I'm gonna tell you a little bit about is what the hell is up with these chains. Why are they here? They're not only for decoration.
Torture.
Depends on the night. This comes from the traditional Bulgarian house. So back in the day, the traditional house would be small house, lots of people, and dinner was very important to everyone. That was the main social event of the day, when everybody could sit down and talk about what they did and speak to their family. But you had a small house, you didn't have room for a large table. So the Bulgarians, what they would do is they wouldn't expand the table horizontally, they would expand it vertically, and they would hang these chains from the ceilings, and on these chains they would hang different pots, platters, plates, bottles, anything, and this way they would create more sitting space on the table. And here they serve the same function. A lot of the items on the menu, if you decide to come back here, you ask them, they will put on the chains for you, and you can have a very interesting dinner while looking at the other person through mountains of food. Which is a win-win in my situation, because she thinks you look in her eyes, you're looking at the food, you know, it's good, everybody's happy.
And if you take something from this video, I hope it is that Bulgarian food is delicious and very varied, that garlic is an essential part of Bulgarian cuisine, and that you are bound to try some really amazing spirits and cheeses while in the country. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button to get notified of upcoming videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and stick around as we move along our Bulgarian series. Oh yes, my Bulgarian map is also available on the shop, link in the description below. Next video will be about our experience of sleeping in a very popular monastery in the country and how it wasn't exactly what we expected. See you then, bye bye!